You are now listening to Tech Tea Entertainment with your girl, DJ SHEJAI.
And REINADIYA.
Welcome to another episode of Tech Tea Entertainment. This is your girl, DJ SHEJAI.
And REINADIYA.
Today, we got two very special guests on our show today. We got a young MC / artist, producer, everything you ever want to call him, Yung Kurb.
Yo, what's happening?
And then we also have another SAE student here, another artist, producer, everything you could ever imagine, Mercy.
What's happening, people?
Today on Tech Tea Entertainment, we did have a topic that we wanted to discuss, but as we were researching the topic, we realized another topic came up. I know that sounds really confusing, but we were actually researching top 100 Billboard. We wanted to know which engineers was actually engineering the most tracks on the top Billboard. But as we were doing our research, we realized that it's very hard to determine the engineer or producer of a track because they had categorized them as each other. So it was hard to identify who engineered and who produced the actual track. So our question for you is, how do you feel as producer and engineers that you guys may be categorized as the same?
I mean, honestly, I don't see an issue with it, but I mean, if you just a producer, if you're just an engineer, you might have an issue. But I mean, being that we have, we in both of those categories, we really won't have, complaints as far as getting, placement information and stuff like that put out.
So you feel as long as you get some type of recognition due to the fact that you're both, it's okay?
Yeah.
Just as long as you get some type of recognition.
As long as you get some type of recognition.
And what about you, Kurb? What do you think?
I mean, I pretty much feel the same way, but if you're trying to see who's the better producer or the better engineer, if they just being categorized as a producer and one of them's just a producer, he could be a better producer than the other one, but the other one's a better engineer, you know what I'm saying? So that's why I think they should break it up so that way you can really know they strong suits, because you have some beat makers or producers. You have producers that aren't beat makers, and you have beat makers that aren't producers. Then you got engineers who are engineers, but they're not Pro Tool operators. They may be a Logic engineer, you know what I mean? So I just think that
Everything should be specified when it's stated in the credits,
so everybody could get their proper due.
I agree with you. I feel like the fact that everyone is doing their own special part in a project, they should all be able to get their recognition for what they do.
I think that comes with when all the paperwork is being done. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, these people are human. Humans make mistakes. Sometimes they just don't fill in parts that they should fill in. If you would probably go and listen for some of my music, you would see a lot of the information, but you wouldn't see as much. You probably wouldn't see the people who are in the room who say, hey, say this line, or hey, say that line. If we in a real studio, a real environment where a label can control everything like that, if you guys were sitting in, one line would make you co-writer. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's just lack of filling out certain information or whatever. So some people just on their stuff and other people not,
True story. Smaller songs, you're not gonna have the same back and the same people putting in the work to put that information out there too, as far as, putting your music in the right direction, down the right avenues online, and having the barcodes and having that type of, protection on your music, and having that type of stuff, on your tracks, period. You're not gonna have a label missing out on, putting the executive producer, putting who the producers are, who the engineer is.
I think that being said, there was something that Reina was explaining to me early when you were saying you were doing your research, and when engineers or producer, when they're linked to a song with a Grammy.
Yes, it was really weird because when I was doing the research for the Billboard Top 100, and I saw that when you look it up in Wiki, you don't see engineer and you don't see producer. You just see producers, plural, with a whole bunch of people. And sometimes they will have it hyperlinked if it is a Grammy award-winning song. Like, for example, if you do look up producer or engineer for Despacito, you will see someone pop up and it will be hyperlinked. But then for songs that aren't as recognized, it wouldn't happen sometimes. So why isn't just every song in general having the correct formatting and the correct statements for who does what?
Yeah, because it's $75. You know, it's like he said to copyright certain things to get it on, you know, on your song specifically. And, right. So you know, people don't want to pay that for every song or pay that. You know, you got a bigger budget. You with a label, you can do that. Smaller people, you know, smaller songs, smaller budget might not happen for you.
Well, just from the research we've collected, but it does make sense what you're actually saying now. Like, if they didn't have a big team behind them to actually produce the track, then all the necessary measures might not have been taken to make sure the right people get accredited for the information.
And then, like, nowadays, too, you have a lot of artists who have studios on their bus. You know what I'm saying? And it might not have no real deal engineer. It might just be Jay sitting there. Jay know how to press record. You know what I mean? He might know how to edit something. You know what I mean? And we just dropped a little mixtape on the bus. And we just throw it out there. Because all songs, if you really, really listen, all songs not mixed and mastered perfectly. Something like a lot of X earlier stuff. All of everybody favorite stuff. None of that stuff mixed. He recorded a lot of his music on computer mics. You know what I'm saying? Like little basic mics, you know? So it just differs, situation, budget, you know.
Now moving on, with Mercy, with you, do you consider yourself a beat maker or a producer?
Producer. I mean, a beat maker. When you say you're a beat maker, you just basically you putting some sounds together that makes sense. You know, a lot of people can do that, but a producer is somebody that's putting, you know, these pieces together and also putting these pieces together the right way, and you know, it doesn't stop there.
So it's more of a production than just a beat.
It's more of a production. Once that beat is complete, as you say, a beat, once you go to the studio, you have to make sure that artist does what he's supposed to do. You know, you have to make sure that the engineer is doing what they're supposed to do, because they can, you know, make or break a song. You know, if you send them some stems and they drop your kick a little bit too much, or, you know, take some frequencies out, do some weird stuff that, you know, that kind of stuff like that happens.
So you are a producer, not a beat maker, correction, 2 snaps. And you're an amazing producer at that. If y'all don't know, he got a lot of secret talents. But before we reveal those, Kurb, are you just an all-around artist? What did you consider yourself?
I consider myself an artist and a producer, but I'm not a beat maker. I don't make beats. I don't have, like, I mean, I'm learning now. I'm dabbing, but I ain't really, like, my passion or whatever. But I consider myself a producer because I'm good at, like, picking the right people for songs and arranging the song and saying, hey, you should put this in, put that. I'm a good director when it comes to making a song, like, beyond writing, like.
That's what a producer does, you know, versus just a beat maker. So that would, because he would be considered a producer. You know, he would be executive producer, you know. Right.
So, like, that's how I look at it. Like, even if I'm there during the beat making process, you know what I mean? I may say, hey, bro, if you put this in, it'll sound good, or change that sound to a trumpet instead of a guitar. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I feel I consider myself a producer and an artist.
Okay, and I have one more question before Daya has any questions for you. With you guys both being in Mod 2 here at SAE, has coming to SAE helped you become a better producer or engineer? And is there any advice you can give to any other students who may be considering or who are already attending SAE?
I can say that it did help. It helped a lot because, I mean, it's a few things that we don't know. You know, you can be with the best producers in the world and certain things that you don't know, you know, about the technical side of it. So it helped me a lot, you know, as far as like the music theory goes, because, you know, most engineers, most producers, they play by ear. And, you know, we don't actually know the technical side of, you know, the melodic side of it. So it really helped me in that sense, like, you know, learning how to, you know, count quarter notes and half notes and all the extra, you know, stuff like that. And you know, as far as going inside of the box in Pro Tools and, you know, working with different, you know, effects and stuff like that, it, you know, it helped me with my production.
Okay, Kurb?
I mean, I pretty much feel the same way. Like, this is all stuff that I knew how to do that God just blessed me with these gifts. I never knew what to call it. I never knew, like, how to, understand or express how I felt about certain things to people who did learn in school. So now that I'm in school, I'm learning all the technical terms, and I'm learning how to really be more hands-on with my music instead of like having to just trust somebody else with my sound, because I used to have an issue a lot with engineers trying to explain to them what sound I was going for, like with my voice. Like instead of me being able to tell them, hey, I used to tell them like, hey, I wanted to sound like I'm in the hallway, but now I know to tell them, hey, put some reverb on that. You know what I'm saying? So like it helped in that way, definitely. And it also, just the atmosphere with being around other people, it helps you become more social and learn how to deal with people, because in this industry, you're gonna have to deal with people, And my advice for anyone, when you get here, just don't think, or when you get here, just don't think of it as being in school. You still doing what you love to do, and just like when you at the studio and you sitting there bugging the engineer, hey man, how you do this? How you do that? Just be open-minded and, think outside the box.
Yeah, because what do we learn every day? There's 3 or 4 more ways to do it in Pro Tools.
Agreed. Well, I have a few questions for you guys. I wanted to know, are there any projects that you guys are currently working on or have already released where anyone can go ahead and check you guys out?
Well, I have a mixtape. Well, I have 2 mixtapes, really. One of them was only released on SoundCloud. It's called Yung Kurb Industry Jack Move, Volume 1. Just basically me just jacking industry beats and putting my own twist on it, trying to do it better than the original artist. And then I have another project that's available everywhere, 1986 Dope. It's really an album because it's all original beats on there, but I called it a tape, you know what I'm saying? But got a couple nice cuts on there, the main singles being Pressure and IDGAF. I also have a studio, Black Flamingo Digital. That's the name of the label and the studio in Broward County, Florida.
Plug.
Right. So,
How can they follow you on social media?
Yung Kurb 954 on Instagram, and Yung Kurb everywhere else, YUNGKURB everywhere. YouTube, all that. And I also got some homeboys on the up and coming right now. APF, Ain't Playing Fair. They got their little thing going on out here, Broward County, Florida, doing the big things.
And they can find their stuff where your stuff at, or?
You can find their stuff, APF Money. That's the artist page on IG. He also got a mixtape coming out later in the month, so y'all look for that too.
Okay, bet. And then we got Mercy over here who's real quiet. Don't worry, we're going to have his stuff sneak up on y'all.
Yeah, I'm chilling. Right now I'm working on some stuff, but I've been, working on other people's stuff, so I'm getting there.
He thinks it's not ready, but look, let me tell y'all.
Of course, yeah, but it's just not, it's not ready.
Oh, but Jay, you've been working behind the scenes, so you do have some projects you've worked on.
Yeah, it was cool.
So we really got to cook something up because, I'm coming out with my mixtape, so I'm going to put that out there. Y'all think I'm playing, but I'm not. And then 2, I do want to thank you for your time. We appreciate it, Yung Kurb, Mercy, a.k.a. Jay. REINADIYA, do you have anything else for them?
No, that was it.
All right, awesome. Thank you so much. And that is another episode of Tech T Entertainment. And now for your listening pleasure, Yung Kurb with IDGAF.
Hustling is what I do. Hustling is what I do.
First off, I'm a made nigga. This ain't even my section, but all a nigga see is dollar signs. Nigga try me, I'ma check them. Respect the game, I'ma bless them. I ain't even gon' stress it. Shots out the birdie, brought my money, I'm my family going extra. Started off with a 3-5, turned that bitch to a green mile. I ain't getting no sleep, nigga. Now my new name Bling Blow. Come a wrist like Bling Blow, earrings like Bling Blow. Sipping coffee over Benny meeting. Young nigga getting green now. Trap like Rick Ross. Run up them digits like Jeffrey Ho. Loud pack come from California and the cocaine come from Mexico. In the water, I don't need a bowl, bitch, take chest cause I need a load. Boil water with that Arm & Hammer when it bubble up, then they get the cold. Wait a minute. Straight drop water whipping. Millie Rock with the wrist game. 28 on the ditch. I ain't taking no loss, no, nigga. I ain't never been a loser. Try to chop me with the massive violent bitch. I'm a Mary Jane abuser.
I don't give a damn about anything. Why should I give a fuck about you? And I'ma put it all on everything. Cause hustling is what I do. See, I don't give a damn about anything. Why should I give a fuck about you? And I'ma put it all on everything. Cause hustling is what I do.
See, hustling like knowing how to make something happen when they got their foot on your neck. Turn a little bit to a lot, you feel me? Just gotta keep your head up and your feet moving and focus on that bird.
3 years on the Fed bed, background all fucked up. Got pistol charges, got cell charges. Anything for a fucking buck. I'm a hustler and a customer. I could turn a brick to another one. I'm a street nigga, but I'm book smart. Can't never play me for a sucker duck. Killer shit, hammers, clips longer than bananas. Wanna ransom for your nano. All beef, I'm a handle. Grew up with some other shit. When niggas get off for the fuck of it. And if you was soft, you ain't hustling. And we didn't talk to the government. Nines, he snitch back. Whip this, whip that. It ain't about what you dropping, nigga. It's about what you getting back. Everybody wanna be a boss, don't nobody ever wanna do the work. Keep my head on the swivel around here, a lot of niggas been getting murdered.
I don't give a damn about anything. Why should I give a fuck about you? And I'ma put it all on everything. Cause hustling is what I do. See, I don't give a damn about anything. Why should I give a fuck about you? And I'ma put it all on everything. Cause hustling is what I do.
And that's another episode of Tech Tea Entertainment, the only place to get your tea on tech.